Jack Mason is a homeless man from Seattle, Washington who loses his only friend Hank, a fellow homeless man and his pet dog, on the same day. Dejected, Mason attempts to commit suicide when a soup kitchen worker, Walter Cole, saves him. Cole refers him to businessman Thomas Burns, who kindly offers Mason a job as a hunting guide. Flying to a remote cabin surrounded by hundreds of acres of woods, Mason meets the rest of the hunting party, all of whom paid $50,000 for the privilege of being there. In addition to Burns and Cole, the party includes Doc Hawkins, the founder of The Hunt and a psychopathic psychiatrist who specializes in psychological assessments, Texas oil man John Griffin, and wealthy executive Derek Wolfe Sr. and his son Derek Wolfe Jr., the latter of whom is at first unaware of the true purposes of the hunt. The following morning, Mason is awakened with a gun in his face by Cole, who explains that the men are not hunting any animals, but rather Mason himself. Mason is given a head start with only the time it takes the others to eat breakfast. Wolfe Jr. is horrified at the thought of killing a man, but is pushed into it by his father. The hunters race off into the forest, but by now Mason has returned to the cabin in search of weapons. He finds none, and instead makes the disgusting discovery of the hunter's trophy room behind a locked door, the preserved heads of the victims of previous hunts. The hunters quickly assume Mason's return to the cabin and go back. Wolfe Sr. enters just as Mason lights up the cabin and engages in a fist fight with Hawkins out back, away from the others. The hunt resumes and Mason begins to use his wits to beat the hunters, luring them with falsely planted lit cigarettes to lead them in the wrong way. Mason sabotages one of their ATVs, causing it to explode, and the explosion rips off most of Cole's lower body, mortally wounding him. The second night sees Wolfe Sr. and Mason fighting one-on-one with Mason the victor and Burns escaping to the city, knowing that Mason will most likely be searching for him. A fight ensues where Mason beats up Burns and takes his gun, but instead of shooting the evil man Mason just leaves the gun and walks away. Burns tries to shoot him, but what he doesn't realize is Mason used a tip from his late friend Hank and messed with the barrel on Burns' gun. When Burns tries to kill Mason, the gun backfires and kills Burns instead, and Mason walks off into the night.